Well, let's chat women and sports. And when I mean women and sports, we're talking about a book at this point. We're going to be talking women and sports Netball World Cup with Morena Mutupi in a couple of moments. Before we get to that, though, a great book we're looking at this morning. I'll tell you why. I'm joined by Nikolaos Kirkinis, is the co-author of the book entitled Girls Don't Do That. But here's the real clincher. It's the story of Banyana Banyana star Thembi Kgatlana, very well known, of course, incredibly successful on the football pitch. Let's bring in Nikolaos to make more sense of the book for me as well. And this is looking at gender biases, and we'll get there in a moment, Nikolaos. Good morning to you. But this is also the incredible story of Thembi, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Well, thanks very much for having me. And I think we would be remiss not to start the show by congratulating Thembi on scoring a goal and providing an assist in the World Cup last night. So even more reason to celebrate Thembi. And aside from being a fantastic footballer, Thembi also has an incredibly keen eye for justice and particularly for women's rights. And Thembi approached me in COVID, and we wrote one book together in that period. And subsequently, we've now written a children's book together, which we hope will inspire lots of young girls and boys to take up the footsteps that Thembi has laid out before us.
Because when you look at the title, Nikolaos, Girls Don't Do That, I'm starting to get a sense that this has all got to do with what is considered gender identities these days, and what boys can do and what girls can do and what the other can't do at all. And I imagine one of those is when we talk about Thembi, I think everyone knows this, told that girls don't play soccer when she was younger. Guess how that's gone for them, the critics of Thembi?
No, precisely. And I suppose gender stereotypes and the pressures that they bring will look different depending on where you are, what you look like, and where you grow up. And Thembi had a very particular experience with this growing up. She was constantly told that it was very untoward that she loved football so much. And even to the point where when she went to school, the teachers at break time wouldn't allow the girls to join the boys in playing football. They would make them practice tying the blanket around them that would hold a baby, eventually. And this obviously always disturbed Thembi. She just always had a very different spirit about her. She always knew what she liked, despite elders in her community and teachers and other people telling her that that's just not the way things are done around here. And luckily, Thembi's defiant spirit allowed her not to listen and to go for her dreams. And this is why she has such an inspiring story to share today.
Yeah, absolutely. I see it's in a couple of different languages as well, which is so very, very important. And just talking about the age, the target age range that you're looking at here, especially we're talking about Girls Don't Do That. I imagine this is for the youngsters, telling them that you can do whatever you want. But also the illustrations. I have the book behind me on our video wall, beautifully illustrated. Tell me about that, Nikolaos, just before I ask you where the book is available.
Cool. So the whole point about this book is we wanted to make it as accessible as possible. We wanted it to be the people's book. And it's not just for young girls, actually. It's very important to note that an objective of this book is that we believe that young boys should be holding South African women as idols in their eyes as well. And we believe that if young South African boys grow up idolizing South African women, that hopefully this will have a good effect on GBV in the country with the generations to come. So we want to make it as accessible to as many people, boys and girls. It's also why it's been translated it's in English, it's in isiZulu, it's in isiXhosa, it's in Sesotho, and it's in Afrikaans as well. It is illustrated by Chantal Limburg and Thorn. Again, lovely, simple illustrations that are just accessible to everyone. And it's a book for the people. It's for your mother, it's for your father, it's for your daughter, it's for your son. It's for everyone to just go out and do the things that you've always wanted to do.
And as I say goodbye to you, just tell us where it is we can find this. I mean, everything could be online, e-books, etc. these days, but I imagine for someone of that age, it might be great for mom and dad, whoever it is, the caregiver, to sit down with this book and go through it with the youngsters. So I imagine I can still walk into a physical store and go buy this if I want to. Where's it available?
Yes, so it is available at exclusive books around the countries. Of course, you can get a digital version, but when you're driving on the holiday, much easier to just let your kids have a physical version in the back of the car. It'll keep them distracted. Available in 6 languages, exclusive books around the country.
And congrats on the book, Nikolaos, and quite right as well. Congratulations to Thembi as well, scoring last night as well. 2-2 draw in the end. It could have been a win, but this is what that story is all about. So the book's Girls Don't Do That, co-author Nikolaos Kirkinis, and of course Thembi Kgatlana needs no introduction whatsoever, but she's a little bit busy over at the Football World Cup, so we weren't able to get a chat with her. But go out and get the book, Girls Don't Do That.